Picking up where we left off from the last episode, we see what happened to Omni-Man after his bloody fight with his son at the end of Season 1. He left Earth conflicted and in tears, traveling through the wide and empty space for what seems like a long time, even sporting a kick-ass beard to show how much time has passed. We then see Omni-Man attempting to kill himself by letting go and allowing a black hole to consume him whole. His efforts are interrupted when he sees an alien ship belonging to the Bug Aliens, the ones that tricked Invincible to come to their planet to see his father again. Losing control and almost drifting into the black hole, Omni-Man saves the ship and everyone on board. He takes them back to his planet and almost flies away once again, but they stop him to thank him and ask him to stay with them. Back to the present time, Invincible is visibly angry at seeing his piece of shit father again. Omni-Man looks calm and collected, but also his stance shows that he is ready if it comes down to trading blows between them. Invincible is overwhelmed with emotion, however, and hugs his father as a result of conflicting feelings towards the man he calls father and how he missed him. This is momentarily, however, because Invincible starts going over a tirade about his father being an asshole and how he didn't even bother to say sorry, not to mention him calling the atrocities he committed a simple mistake. Invincible tells him fuck you and flies away. Omni-Man follows immediately. Omni-Man does his best to convince Invincible to stay for a while and listen to what he has to say. He starts to appeal to his good side by stating how the alien planet actually needs his help, and Invincible gives him a limited time to hear him out. Omni-Man then takes him to his home, makes out with an alien in front of him, and then shows him his little half-brother. Safe to say Invincible is absolutely shocked at what he is seeing, and not in a good way. If you're into animation recaps, then Inky Myths will be your go-to for manga recaps, the ultimate hub where your favorite manga and webtoons come alive in thrilling summaries. Whether you're catching up on the latest chapters or revisiting old favorites, we've got you covered. So, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, like, and join us as we uncover the ink-stained tales of adventure and myth. Meanwhile, Invincible's mom is walking aimlessly and depressed throughout the city. She grieves to herself about the reason Omni-Man chose to get with her and marry her when he could have just conquered Earth. Maybe he was cruel and wanted to hurt someone, or maybe it was something more. She understands that at the end, she never knew the true Omni-Man for 20 goddamn years. Oh, and Mahler successfully cloned himself again for like the 500th time, but now they know exactly who is the clone and who is the original. Donald goes to visit Invincible's mom to question her about the time she was shocked to see him. She doesn't answer the door obviously because she is out and about, so Donald changes his focus to the wreckage that is in front of the house, the one where he originally died. He goes to investigate and finds his exact type of glasses buried in the rubble. Meanwhile, William, Amber, and Eve talk about the absence of Invincible for a week now. Amber and William see that Eve is down about something, but she is not telling them yet. Back to alien planet Thraxa, Omni-Man is trying to get Invincible to understand how he has been lost after he left Earth, and how he didn't just replace him and his mother like that. Invincible is unconvinced and calls his reasoning nothing but bullshit. Omni-Man explains that Viltrumites have rule against interspecies breeding, and they will kill Invincible's half-brother for being inferior to them, and that's why he needs his help to stand against them. Invincible is visibly frustrated at the notion of helping his father and cleaning up after his bullshit once again. He asks him how he is going to help if he couldn't even beat him the first time, but Omni-Man tells him that they will train harder than ever to be prepared. Suddenly, and in an ironic surprise, Viltrumite soldiers descended immediately on the planet. Omni-Man tells Invincible to take his Thraxan wife and child to safety, while he deals with them first. Invincible takes the alien bug and his half-brother to what appears as a safe cavern in the mountains. She talks with Invincible and apologizes for appearing to replace his mother. She explains her situation, and Invincible understands and sympathies with her. Suddenly, they get ambushed by a Viltrumite soldier, one of the notable three that presumably killed Alan the alien. The Viltrumite attacks Invincible and discovers Omni-Man's other son with what he calls a disgusting creature. He tries to execute both of them, but Invincible steps up and starts fighting him. The Viltrumite proves too powerful for Invincible and almost crushes him with a single finger, but Omni-Man steps up immediately and joins the fight to take on the Viltrumite. They trade blows for a short while before Omni-Man finally overpowers him and kills him. Omni-Man tells his alien wife to go deeper into the cave and calls for Invincible to join him, as there are two more Viltrumites. Meanwhile, Adam Eve finds a villain stealing something that belonged to Rudy, and she is not in a good mood to negotiate, so she proceeds to kick his ass. She is so angry and playful with the villain, beating him up and throwing him around. This ends with her fucking up and causing a car to drive off, form the bridge they were in, and crash into the water. She tries to help, but the villain uses the distraction to keep her down and kick her. She takes care of him quickly and pulls the wrecked car from the river, but she panics as the couple are unconscious and appear to be in a critical state. Back on Earth, Debbie is visited by an old friend of the family, Art, and they talk about her still not getting over Omni-Man even after what he did, and even with the fact that he was never around all that much before the big incident. Art basically tells her that she has true strength compared to Omni-Man. He was born strong, and that is having it easy compared to Debbie, who had to step up to him, and was probably the reason Earth is not enslaved or conquered. All she can now do is actually live her life with Invincible, without that bum. Meanwhile, Donald returns to the government facility and uses Cecil's login info to view old surveillance footage from the attack of Omni-Man. He finds out about his sacrifice to stop Omni-Man and kill him. We then see Omni-Man and Invincible go back to the Thraxan surface and find everyone killed and slaughtered by the two remaining Viltrumite. Omni-Man chokes his son while questioning him about his feelings and why he feels bad for them. Invincible responds by basically telling him that it's normal to feel bad for innocent lives, and that is what he should have felt back on Earth. The two Viltrumites show themselves and taunt Omni-Man for how weak the aliens were. Fuming, Omni-Man promises to kill them, so he tussles with one as the other takes on Invincible. Invincible gets his ass immediately killed by the elder Viltrumite, while Omni-Man is holding his own against the other soldier. Invincible gets blasted away momentarily, and Omni-Man uses the time to talk to his son and convince him to let go and use his full power. He needs to fight like a Viltrumite and kill the Viltrumite soldiers, or he is going to be brutalized. Invincible appears to be averse to the idea because he believes he shouldn't kill people, but Omni-Man shouts some sense into him. The Viltrumite soldiers come back to continue the fight, and Invincible finally lets himself go and unleashes his full Viltrumite powers. Omni-Man kills one of the soldiers, and Invincible comes close to killing the other, but a moment of weakness and sympathy stops him and almost gets him killed, before his father jumps in and finishes her off for good. Suddenly, the first Viltrumite appears out of nowhere having a second wind and knocks out Omni-Man, before falling down once again. Later on, a Viltrumite ship comes to the planet to take the fallen Viltrumite and a captured Omni-Man. Omni-Man tells Invincible to remember his good deeds and read the books he left behind on Earth. A Viltrumite by the name of General Craig punches the shit out of Invincible and tells him that his father will be executed, while he goes back to Earth to conquer it instead of him. And if he doesn't, then the Viltrumites will conquer his planet in spite of him and kill billions of people. What an episode, man. This is exactly what I have been waiting for since the beginning of the season. Feels like the stakes are finally turning up, and there are actual consequences now. I really enjoyed the Viltrumite fight, and can't wait to see more. This brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me, what do you think of this episode? Do you think Invincible is weak, or is he still holding back? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.